I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace in the storm. In the storm. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace.
Hey, good morning, Firmly Rooted family. Happy Monday morning. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries, and here by myself at the coffee shop. It looks like the office and things are going to be moved this week. I'm going to try to find out the details, hopefully today. But good to have you on board. Mary Jo Johanna, good morning to all. Vivian Davis, good morning. Good to see you, Vivian. And yes, a cup of coffee sounds good. Yes, and it's cold. Nikki Chasen, good morning. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Kathy Burrell, good morning. Brian Vlaming, good morning, Saints. Elmar, good morning, brother. Good to have you. Jackie Matus, good morning. And good morning, FR friends from Alice Chalmers. Great to have you on board. All right, it's kind of interesting going through the crucifixion and everything since we just did that in the Gospel of John, but we're getting to see it from Mark's perspective. Last week, Pastor Grigsby introduced us to Barabbas, the individual that the crowd is going to ask Pilate to release and to crucify Jesus in his place. Barabbas is, as Pastor Grigsby said, is no basic criminal. He's a murderer. I mean, this guy is the worst of the worst. And the religious leaders have it out for Jesus so bad that they're willing to have released back into their society a crazy guy who is just killing people and crucifying someone who simply is loving God with their whole heart, mind, soul, and loving their neighbor as themselves, and in so doing is healing and preaching the gospel and setting people free. Boy, if that's not a picture of the war between the two kingdoms. You've heard me say before that God's design is in all of this as well. Barabbas. The religious leaders think they're in control and they got this covered, not realizing that Barabbas means son of the fathers. Bar, son, Abba. Father, son of the Father. So God is making sure that the true son of the Father dies in the place of the son of the Father, the perfect one dying in the place of the sinful and guilty one. It's a picture of redemption. Par Lagerquist wrote a book called Barabbas, in which he tells the story of Barabbas being converted to Christianity, and none of the Christians want him around because kind of he's the blame for Jesus dying. And Barabbas says to them, if he died for anyone, he died for me. Interesting, huh? It's nice twist or an understanding of the gospel. But at any rate, our reading for today takes us into verses 8 through 10. The crowd came up to Pilate to do for them what he usually did. They've already planned that they want Barabbas back. And so now they're urging Pilate to do that customary thing of releasing someone that they want. But in turn, it's not just the release. They're going to want to give Pilate someone to crucify in his place. That normally didn't happen. It was just normally a release. Releasing someone who maybe they felt was wrongly jailed, and they'd ask for the release once a year. But this is more like an exchange. Do you want me to release to you the King of the Jews? That's been making sense to Pilate all along, because Pilate can't even think of a reason for his being arrested or crucified. Knowing it was out of envy that the chief priest had handed him over to him, out of envy, religious leaders becoming envious because someone else is grabbing the attention of the people. So interesting that those religious leaders should have been pointing people to Jesus, and now they're envious that they are going to him and not relying on them. Pilate could see through their duplicity. He knew their motives were wrong and ugly. And as we look into tomorrow, we're going to see that they'd prefer to have Barabbas than to have Jesus. But Jesus is going to make the crucifixion the focal point of his ministry as he crushes the devil's head and he redeems and saves us. See, he is Barabbas, and we are him. God made him who had no sin to be sin on our behalf, that we might become the righteousness of God. There wasn't just an exchange between Barabbas and Jesus. There's an exchange between Jesus and all of us. He didn't just die for Barabbas' sins, he died for all of ours and gave us his righteousness. That's the good news. That's the good news of the gospel. All right, I'll leave it at that. We'll hit the next verses tomorrow. I hope that this devotion was a blessing to you. Have a great day. make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.